Please take your seat. We would like to invite Mr. Bao Yu to share with us centralized as decentralized AI. Mr. Bao, please.
Thank you. Thank you. 其实这个话题呢，我也
topic is a topic I want to share with you, which is about the Hong Kong and Shenzhen cooperation in the future. I'm very honored to be on the panel of the Web 3.0 Association. I'm the only guy from the Shenzhen, not in Hong Kong. So this is a paper I wrote, and it compares the historical globalizations for 2 times and the future possible globalization. The first globalization happened because commodity was transactionable in the world, not the post-Cold War. Because with the radio, we can realize we can do price quotation. The Shanghai can tell London what's the price. And back then, the problem is that every country wants to use their weapon to blaze the neutral. Then there was World War I, World War II, which makes things nasty. And when the Soviet Union broke down, there was second globalization. Second globalization is not the globalization of commodities, but a capital. I can buy from you, but I want to do your country's most profitable businesses. And it means it's really distribution by internet. So Foxconn and Apple, they just need to send people to each other, people to the company. They also need to exchange emails every day. So if there was bad accounting in Wall Street, this whole thing break down, which is financial crisis in 2008. And future globalization will have commodity and capital. We believe the monetization point will not be the capital of the commodity, just on data. Even if you are a person, an individual, you can just enjoy this. With blockchain in place, Russia and India software engineers, they don't need to do businesses. They just do the code. They just need to do the coding at home for the smart contract. How about data? So actually, because during COVID-19, I undertook a project from an MBA of USA University, and we analyzed the data and analyzed the laws and regulations. We believe the most pioneering one is in European Union, and European Union has thought about this very clearly. When it comes to the whitelist and cross-border, they thought it was peripheral in importance, and but when it comes to the digital world, the core is the data, obviously. The data, and you must have a data. And what is the ownership of the data, right? And the ownership belongs to whoever generates the data. If you process data, you do not have the ownership of data. That is the core of the concept. They have thought for 10 years, they thought it would be the future ethical standards, which negates the U.S. platforms of internet. U.S. internet platforms really want you to use things for free, and they try to sell you data. Well, you use things otherwise. If the U.S. practice is done, it's causing a lot of problems. If you do this like the U.S. way, it will lead to a lot of catastrophic aftermaths. And maybe 1 year or 2 years later, and you may just die when you are taking an elevator. It may be caused by a hacker. And the second one is caused by a first one. That is, the U.S. Is collecting the taxpayers' money is generated to not do bad things to the taxpayer. Obviously, yes, it makes perfect sense. All right. Next up. I want to talk to you about my personal opinion recently. Believe that in the next few decades, aside from the digitalization, there was a digitalization and internet and the ships. There was also carbon neutral. All the businesses will not grow. Now our business will grow. All the businesses, other businesses will be all about saving money. Only digital and carbon neutral will be costing more money than ever. But in the future, especially in physical economy, people will think about how to reduce the cost and save money. And the chip and the bandwidth and storage increased by hundreds of times, we feel like we don't believe it. Because China, nobody is doing the ChatGPT because China always thought about saving money, which is do more with less. But US people believe that suppose the chip is free, what do we need to do? And they do the ChatGPT. But that this ChatGPT is still loss making and has not made any money because the algorithm will be free in the future. The algorithm cannot be monetized, and the paper will be open to everybody to use. People cannot make money with it, but Microsoft can leverage to monetize ChatGPT by embedding it on the Microsoft. So in the future, these data services will be almost free to use. And I really believe in my idea that is all these things will be digitalized. And when they are digitalized, all things have no distances, which means most of content, most of companies do not need to exist. The more digitalized we are, the more businesses need to just disappear because we can replace you with an algorithm. What can we do back in the future, in that future? So it's about the only two things that remains unchanged in the changing world: the digitalization and carbon, because there is a more principle, and that is everything will be digitalized. The speed of digitalization in the world will be faster, and the carbon neutrality will be we need to reduce the energy consumption and reduce the commodity use. Otherwise, the economy will also break down because everyone wants to live a better life. Everybody wants to live a very large house. The Earth cannot take it. So if in such a some time change of change time, what is unchanged? So we believe that when digitalization is inexhaustible, when you try to do the carbon neutral, there are three things which are really the three topics that remain unchanged. They are so important that they will be more important in the future. One is security. So security, it seems like we forgot about security. So obviously, there was still war after we know little of the war between Ukraine and Russia, and major wars may be expected in the future. Not how about knowledge? Second, knowledge, and then the health. So security, knowledge, and health actually will be made prominent because of digitalization, and these three topics are really the topics in the Book of Change or I Ching in China. With digitalization and carbon neutrality, these three questions will be more prominent than ever. That is, all the money we make will be wasted in these three things. It always costs money. You cannot benefit from. All the companies should be gone. You just need to do these things, right? This is really the really rich need. So this year, I wrote a paper in June and July, and actually, my paper will have been quoted in discussions when the Hong Kong is doing Web 3.0. People are interested in the RWA, which is to turning these existing assets into tokens for sales. That is really good. Hong Kong is a good place to kick out these transactions. But the assets in digital world, most valuable of the asset in the world will be something like ChatGPT, because if something like a ChatGPT is not taking money from Microsoft, it does not need to set up a company. It's just an algorithm. It can really use a blockchain to become manufacture a cloud thing. It issues a token like the and when it is running, the token can be used by you to buy services. Nobody will oppose to the idea of amplifying the price 100 times because you invest in ChatGPT. Nobody will say you are a hooligan. So I believe in the future, Hong Kong can do a lot of these projects. We'll get ready for that. And AI companies can just issue a token. You can sell it at the Hong Kong exchange. You don't need to issue stocks. It's very fast. And within 1 month, the company will be everywhere in the world. So we're doing these three projects. And so Web.3, what is looking like in the big capital company is not Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. What is that? We're talking about Amazon, because all the brokers and all the banks, all the Bitcoin, their money is in Amazon. As long as Amazon closed down, they would just disappear. So the future cloud computing cannot do that. It gets a call from U.S. government of it can really disappear, make a Chinese internet company disappear. A lot of SLEs used to have their servers in the AWS or Amazon. If we want to do batch modernization, we cannot launch things in one company like Amazon's AWS, because one company's solution cannot be able to take so much data, because we want to amplify by 100 times in time. You cannot put it in Alibaba or Tencent. In the future, we need to do the Web 1.3, Web 3.0 based cloud computing. Second, the information. If you want to control television, if you want to control GN or Bloomberg, you can choose a lot of things. But in the future, it cannot happen, because when we want to learn the facts, we will use our method to get facts, which is really the strength of Web 3.0. We need to know not just the information, but also the data, and also the medical. So when you digitalize the world, it will be very much a change to the medical field. That is, we found something interesting. That is, the TCM, the traditional Chinese medicine, will have a good role to play, because a lot of reasons are there. First reason is that only the TCM has history, and that is TCM has a big picture, and as a drug maker and as a patient and a doctor have a common sense. The Western doctors don't have a idea. So we found aspirin is good, and last year people say that aspirin can be carcinogenic, and several years later people say it's less carcinogenic. So a lot of papers were written only TCM has a very consensual result. So we try to do the ideology with the TCM, and we use the Western medicine to become an instrument. So we try to leverage the Western medicine's best solutions by TCM. Only TCM can be so good. You must go to for Western medicine, you must go to hospital, get blood work. We're doing a project there, and I think it's an interesting project for TCM. So that's it. And we still have Mr. Huang here for yes.
Ivan